look at that. Ooh, those are good ones. But yeah, our garlic is looking really good this year. I'm really excited to see how they turned out. This might be our best garlic harvest yet.
They're so big.
We will see. From what I see, the bulbs are the biggest they've been. We are quite behind a lot of other places in the country as far as where we are in our harvest. Our last frost this year was June 10th. We had one June 9th and June 10th. So everything got planted out after that. We are gonna go ahead and get these dug up. You guys gonna help?
Yeah.
All right, we got little helpers.
Yeah.
We're gonna dig them up and see how we did this year.
This is mine.
Yeah, that's a nice big one. That's a big size.
This is mine.
That's great. Hopefully we'll have that one to plant next year.
Wow, look at this one, Mom.
Wow, great job.
We'll have this one to do that too.
That's awesome. And then yeah, after we pull up all the garlic here,
We're gonna plant carrots.
we're gonna reseed some carrots for the fall, and I've never done it this late, but I'm hoping we'll have enough time to get to have them fully mature. Wow, awesome.
This wasn't even
Great job.
I didn't.
And then we'll have 2 beds, almost 2 full beds of carrots. You can tell when they're ready because they look all yellow and brown kind of at the top, and then at the bottom too, these 2 bottom leaves get brown and papery.
Look at that one, Mom.
Wow, that's a good one too. That's so cool. So exciting. Wow, you did it! Awesome. So the bigger garlic bulbs and cloves that you start with, that you plant, the bigger the garlic head is going to be when you harvest. It makes sense. So I had planned to get some really nice ones and order them in because I, for various reasons, have had smaller ones in the past. But I didn't get to ordering it, so I kind of dropped the ball on that one, but that was okay because I still had garlic from last year's harvest. They weren't the biggest bulbs, but they were definitely decent enough. So I planted those. Both the hardneck and the softneck were from what we harvested last year. So with that said, they are looking really good this year, but they would have been bigger had I started with bigger bulbs to begin with. So hopefully for next year I'll have some decent looking ones this time around, and I will make sure to save those to plant this fall. So while we're harvesting our garlic, I thought I'd share with you some tips that I've found helpful throughout the years in growing garlic successfully. So for many years before I had raised beds, I would plant my garlic out in the ground in the garden, and every spring I was so excited to see them all come up and looking really good. But then the voles or moles started just taking them out one by one, and before you knew it, I was left with none, or maybe just 1 or 2. Let me just say it was incredibly disheartening to see. So after a few years of disappointment with that, we decided to build some raised beds, and we made sure to put the hardware cloth underneath it to keep those moles or voles out of our beds and protect our garlic. So if you're using a raised bed, make sure to fill it with really good soil. I tried to get a raised bed mix in bulk, and it was cheaper than just the compost, and I regretted it because the soil was just super hard and rocky and things were not growing well in it. So the garlic I planted in that bed that year didn't do well. So make sure you get good soil in your beds. Also, I have noticed that the depth of the bed makes a difference. I planted some in my shallower beds and then in my deeper beds the same year with the same soil, and I had very different results. The ones in the deeper bed did so much better and were much bigger. Another thing to remember is to fertilize your garlic. Early in the spring, you want to just give it some nitrogen-rich fertilizer, so I always do some fish fertilizer. And then you also want to give it some phosphorus-rich fertilizer, such as bone meal, and that helps aid in the bulb development. And then also, if you're growing a hardneck variety of garlic, make sure to remember to harvest your garlic scapes on time. Harvesting the scapes off of your garlic sends a signal to the bulbs to grow bigger than if you were to just leave them on, so it's important to remember that. I've made a few videos on how to preserve garlic scapes, and I'll link those below if you want to check those out. Here's all the soft neck garlic. We did really good. I'm so happy with the size of the bulbs after all. Even though we didn't start with the biggest bulbs ever when we planted, they turned out really well, so I think even next year we'll should go even better. So super happy with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put these aside, and then we'll go ahead and harvest the hardneck variety and see how that did. So yeah, we have the hardneck bordered on this bed, just 2 rows on either side. And then I planted this spring, it was probably the first week of May, I planted carrots in the middle here. And those are looking good. We're gonna thin them out and they'll be growing to their full size pretty soon.
The hardneck is harder.
Is it harder to get out?
Yeah.
Hardneck is harder, okay.
Ah, look what I
I
found.
think you're right.
What is this, Mom?
So far the hardneck is looking really good. I was expecting the soft neck to be a little bigger than the hardneck because the ones I started with were a little bit bigger. But these are turning out pretty nice. Our best harvest definitely that we have ever had so far. So it's later in the day now, in the evening, and these have just been laying out here all day, drying out a little more, but they still definitely have some more drying out to do. I usually just would leave them out in the sun for about a day to just really dry off, and then oops, and then just brush as much dirt as I can off of it. And I did make a video covering how to cure your garlic properly. I have to say that our garlic cured and stored so well last year. My hardneck garlic lasted well into the spring this year, and it just did really well with the way that we cured and then stored it. And also I had some soft neck last year, and we actually still have quite a bit left of our soft neck from last year. It's still hanging in my kitchen, and this is even more than we had last year. So I think we will be pretty well stocked on garlic this year, which is exciting. I was gonna mention that with my garlic where I stored it, after I cured it, I braided the soft neck, and it's been hanging in my kitchen since last summer after I braided it. And you would think it would need to be in like a dark room or a dark environment, but that really hasn't been the case. We had it in our kitchen. There's a window in the room, obviously not in direct sunlight, but it's stored really well just hanging up on our wall in there. So I'm definitely gonna just go ahead and do that again since it works so well. And then I just had my hardneck garlic in a little wicker basket, and it stored super well last year. So I will link all the videos that are involving growing, storing, curing garlic, all those things. How to preserve the scapes if you have them, how to do those lacto-fermented garlic scapes, and you can do the garlic cloves the same exact way. It's the same ratio. Alright, so that's all we have today. Thank you so much for joining us as we harvested our garlic. Hope it was inspirational. Maybe you'll give growing your own garlic a try. And it is really a super simple crop to grow. And that's about all we have today. We will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.